If you thought Google's last few years were chaotic, wait until you hear what they're doing with the Pixel 11 Pro. This one might actually be their strangest move yet. Because on paper, this phone looks like it's taking a step backward. And that's a wild thing to say about a flagship in 2026. Let's start with the chip. The new Tensor G6 might actually be a downgrade compared to last year's G5. Yeah, you heard that right. Google's Tensor chips have never really competed with Qualcomm or Apple on raw power. But this year, they might be falling even further behind. Now here's the thing. Does that actually matter for how you use your phone every day? Honestly, maybe not as much as the spec sheets suggest. Most flagship chips run 8 cores in a specific layout. Last year's Pixel followed that same formula. But leaks suggest the new chip drops a core entirely from the middle tier, leaving a leaner setup than we're used to seeing. And the graphics side isn't looking much better. Rumors point to a GPU architecture that's honestly a few years old already. If you only care about benchmark charts, this is not a great look for a phone that hasn't even launched yet. But peak performance numbers are one thing. Real-world, everyday performance is a completely different story. It looks like Google isn't chasing top benchmark scores anymore. They're chasing something else entirely: smoothness and battery efficiency. Think about how Pixel used to market itself with specs and numbers. Now it's almost entirely about the experience of using the phone. So trimming that extra core might actually be intentional, a way to keep the chip cooler and avoid overheating during heavy use. Ever notice your phone getting hot when you're navigating with GPS, blasting mobile data, and screen brightness maxed out in the car? That's exactly the kind of scenario Google seems to be optimizing for. Less heat, less battery drain, more consistency. And there's another piece to this efficiency puzzle: the modem. Word is Google is switching things up here too. Instead of relying on the modem from previous generations, Pixel 11 is rumored to bring in a completely new manufacturer this time. This new chip could mean better performance, efficiency, and connectivity. It's a game changer. If the leaks are accurate, this new modem could be a big deal for anyone who's constantly out and about relying on mobile data. On top of that, the chip itself is expected to move to a much smaller, more advanced manufacturing process than before. This means better performance and efficiency for the Pixel 10. That shrink matters. It means Google can pack in more performance without hurting battery life, or keep the same performance and stretch battery life further. The real question is which direction Google goes. Do both phones get the same chip, or does the Pro get the faster version? It wouldn't be the first time a manufacturer split a lineup like this. We'll have to wait and see how Google plays it. Now here's where things get a little rougher. Reports suggest the base Pixel 11 could ship with only 8 GB of RAM. And that's a problem, because Pixel phones lean heavily on AI features. On-device processing, computational photography, all of it needs memory. If a big chunk of that RAM gets reserved just for AI tasks, that leaves very little room for everything else running on the phone. We're used to seeing flagship Pixels launch with noticeably more memory than this. So this feels like a real step down. But let's be fair. Pricing across the entire tech industry has been climbing. Laptops, consoles, phones, all of it. So what we're looking at is a phone that's cutting corners in some places while quietly innovating in others. Weaker core count, an aging GPU, less RAM, but paired with a smarter chip process, a new modem, and better thermal control. Whether that trade-off pays off will come down to real-world testing, not just leaked spec sheets. And I genuinely can't wait to find out. So tell me, is this Google playing it smart or setting up the Pixel 11 Pro to disappoint? Drop your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next one.